Hey, it's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. So today we will be upgrading this old man. We're going to be switching out the graphics card, upgrading the AIO cooler, and we're going to put him in a brand new case. So I'm excited for that one. I'm also going to be doing a giveaway of a free EK AIO cooler. So if you guys want to know the details of that giveaway, be sure to check out the pinned comment down below. And as always, if you want to, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and to give this video a thumbs up. So this is old. This was 6 years old. This is almost 6 years old. I bought this PC to hold me over up until I get all of the parts for my custom built PC, which some of you guys may have already seen. So this grandpa right here has an i7 6700K CPU with a 1080 GPU, and the 1080 GPU is pretty legendary. I got it. I've had it ever since I got this computer, and it works really well. I mean, you can still play modern games on this thing. Granted, you won't be able to play on 4K or on the highest settings, but you can still get pretty decent frames per second. It's pretty dependable, and that's what matters to me, and I can still use it up until this day. So we're going to be replacing the 1080 with this 3060, and I know what you're going to say, that I literally just said that the 1080 is legendary, and it is. I actually really do still believe in it. For me personally, I just couldn't help myself because this was available at Micro Center when I went there a couple of weeks back, and I figured, you know, like I could use this for Grandpa, like Grandpa could use an upgrade. But now that I think about it, I don't think there'd be that much of a difference. I did already record the benchmark for the 1080 over here, and it'll just be fun and cool to see the before and after. I am curious though to see just how much cooler Grandpa's gonna get once I install this EK AIO with 3 fans and replace this AIO with 1 big fan. Everything's so dusty. I'm so sorry, Grandpa. Look at how dusty the radiator is. I haven't cleaned it in probably over a year. So let me show you guys the legendary 1080. This has been Grandpa's, I guess you could say, eyesight. This has been his eyesight for the past couple of years, and honestly, for an old man, his eyesight's pretty good. Better than mine, at least, but I'm gonna go and give him some TLC and get him a new pair of glasses. Oh wow, actually it's like, you could pretend these are glasses. I'm kidding. This is the culprit that's stuck on the screw, and we're just gonna have to screw the whole thing off. That should be really easy to take off. I'm just gonna hold the stand off with pliers and then take the screw off. So I've cleaned out my workspace already, and let me tell you guys what else I did. I wiped off the thermal paste off of the CPU. I took out the screw that was stuck onto the standoff, and it was actually pretty easy to do that. All I had to do was hold the standoff with a pair of pliers, and I had to screw it off. And then I took out the case from the storage. I've been reading the manual, and good news for Grandpa, we'll be using this power supply instead of the old one. Okay, let's start with installing this first, and then we'll move on from there. See what the fuss is all about. They say it's not gonna fit. This AIO won't fit with this case, but I mean, it looks like it's gonna fit. Oh, let's be careful. Yeah, it fits. Wait, let me just. Yeah, it fits. Okay, now keep in mind, guys, this is the Leon Lee Mini. If you guys have the Leon Lee Mini Air, it's going to be shorter around here. So it's definitely not going to fit this AIO because it's going to cut it right there. But you know what? Let's check it out from the top view. Okay, so far it looks like it's going to fit. Let's take this out. All right, so we have the grooves here. Let's... Okay, yeah, so it fits. Yeah, it's a perfect fit. Let me look at the groove. Wait, let me just line up the grooves. Ah, that looks so pretty. But hey, wait, let me check it out down here. Huh. Okay, I think I see what the problem is now. I think I know what the problem is now. So, let me put this down first. So here's the problem. So the radiator fits perfectly, you guys can see that, but the problem is the position of the grooves are over here and we want to move them over here. Because if the grooves are here and we install the radiator and the fans are gonna hit the RAM. So what we wanna do is we wanna be able to move the grooves a bit forward, the radiator, the fans, and therefore it's not hitting the RAM anymore. Top of my head, kind of modification we can do is we could drill some holes over here. But that's not gonna look as pretty. So maybe we could look for a bracket, and that's gonna look definitely better than drilling some holes over here. So yeah, you know what the answer to this is? The internet. Let's Google on the internet, maybe we can find a bracket. Do you wanna tell them cold or should I? So I had to stop filming for a couple of days because I had to wait for the bracket to arrive. And yes, there are brackets. Leon Lee creates a bracket that would help us mount the AIO forward. However, it's currently back ordered, so I wasn't able to get it. I did, however, manage to find an alternative, and I'm going to show you guys that later when we mount the AIO. For now, we're going to install the SSD and we're going to attach the cables at the top of the motherboard. Once we mount the AIO, it's going to be hard for us to maneuver around. That's why we want to attach the cables first. So now we're gonna attach the fans on the radiator, and then we're gonna mount the AIO. And like I mentioned earlier, this is the bracket that's gonna help us mount the AIO forward. Let's do it. So this is what we have so far. I'm so happy for Grandpa. So this is what we have so far, and now we're gonna install the pump. So I've placed the pump on, but however, I haven't been able to secure it yet. And I don't know if you guys can see, but over here, the tubes are touching the RAM a little bit. Like, you guys might not be able to see it, but it is touching it, and that's no bueno. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the orientation of the pump. There. There. That's better. And just so you guys know, the orientation of the pump doesn't really matter as long as the radiator is at the top. So now let's secure the pump, put in the rest of the fans, cables, and GPU. Quick update, you guys. So the power supply unit I originally installed onto Grandpa was DOA. So I ordered a brand new supply unit and it just arrived today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the brand new power supply unit onto Grandpa, and we're gonna finish Grandpa up, and let that be a lesson to you guys to double check all of your components and make sure that they're working so that you don't end up wasting a lot of time like what I just did. Alright you guys, Grandpa is done, so let's go over a couple of things. So we've got the top fan set up as intake over here. We obviously don't have room to do a push-pull configuration, so we set 3 of the fans on the bottom. I did set the bottom as exhaust at first, but I changed them to intake. Also, you'll notice the 140mm fans on the side. I set these up as intakes as well for now. Over here, we got the new 3060 that looks so much prettier than the older 1080. But again, I can't stress this enough. For the price point and the age, it was a super good card. So I got the pump here all nice and secure. Now it looks so cool. It has this nice shiny metal finish. Now I'm not sure if it's coming off as white on the camera because of the lighting, but that's not the color. It's a metal finish, guys. It looks so bomb. Last but not least, I have a 120 by 25mm fan that I was able to fit back here in the rear of the case. Okay, so let's take a look at the cable management. So I would have given myself an A on my cable management for this one, but you can see the big ATX extender cable ruined it. So the good thing about these extender cables is that they will work with any PSU since you can plug them into the original cable and not the power supply. But the bad part, you can see for yourself, they're always too long and they take up so much space. So what I really love about this case is that it makes cable management super easy because of the spine right here. So the spine does a lot of the work. It hides my cables, my SSD, and my lighting and fan hub. So let's go ahead and take a look at the benchmarks of Grandpa and what he was doing before and now how he's doing after. And I'll probably put on the montage after the benchmarks where I include the RGB lights. I hope you guys will like that or appreciate that. I know I always like seeing montages. I guess I'll see you guys on my next video. I'm very excited for my next build. I'm gonna be doing an Intel Z690 build. And I am still waiting for a couple of parts, but while you guys wait, you can check out my other videos. And I hope you guys like them. Again, don't forget to give them a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. And also, I'm reminding you guys that I am doing a giveaway, so make sure you check out the pinned comment down below. So let's go on ahead and check out some benchmarks. So here is the time spy score for Grandpa when we still had the 1080 in. Total score of 6,806, graphics score of 7,496, and a CPU score of 4,474. And the main score for Grandpa with the 3060 and new cooler, case and fans jump all the way up to 7,913. The graphics scores jump up to 8,712, which is not surprising because we did upgrade the GPU, but look at the CPU score, guys. We didn't even change out the CPU and it still went from 4,474 all the way up to 5,208. I was not expecting that, but if you look closely, you can see a big reason why. Take a look at the CPU temps back when Grandpa still had the old cooler on, about mid-40 for the demo, peaking at 47 degrees there, around 40 degrees for the graphics test, peaking at 50 degrees, and averaging around the mid-50s. Now look at Grandpa and the new case and AIO. The average dropped from the mid-40s down to 36 degrees during the demo. And look at the temps during the GPU test. It goes below 30 degrees for most of the time compared to 40 degrees before. And for the CPU test, it drops to the mid-40s when it was the mid-50s with the old case. I mean, for me, that's a crazy drop. We're talking about 10 degrees difference. In case you're wondering, the ambient temperature in the room was 1 degree higher when Grandpa was in the new case. Let's take a look at the Port Royal benchmark test. And with the old case and 1080, we got 1,562. And you can see the temps here. Feel free to pause if you want to get the exact numbers. And with the new case and 3060, we get a score of 5,188 and gains 15 frames per second. And same story with the temps. Much cooler. Wow, you can see it to the low 20s at times. Now, for the heck of it, let's look at the Firestrike score, which is probably meant for more higher-end cards and systems, but it can still give us some good insight. So 16655 overall with a 22440 graphics score, 11629 physics score, and 7290 combined score. Quick look at the temps here. Now this is an interesting result here. The graphics score doesn't go up by much, but actually the CPU part of the test increases more. So here you see the legendary 1080 keeping up with the 3060, and you also see again how much cooling plays a factor in CPU performance.